Raday, Leavy.
What up, world? This is Raday, Leavy, RadayLeavy.com. So you want to know a little bit more about Standard Reason. Standard Reason is the name of the book I wrote. Should be out sometime during the summer, late July, early August. That's what I'm pushing for. If I can sum it all up into one sentence, it's a comprehensive guide for black people in the Bible. It takes you through, it shows all the ethnicities of everybody in the Bible, from Jews to Gentiles, Israelites, everybody. And it shows you the ethnicities and prophecies and marks of everything, of all the descendants and where everybody's at now. And it even connects stuff, back to Africa and Egypt and those civilizations. And for what it's worth, the reason why I did this is because I've been in talks and with a lot of religious leaders and pastors and scholars and PhDs and all these other people, and they all kind of say the same thing when we start talking about black people and the plight of black people and what's going on, especially in the African American communities, because there are more than one type of black people, right? But for what it's worth, man, they say they start talking about how it was all ours first, and then the white man took it, and Jesus was black, and the Jews are really black, and this is really this, and this is really that, and this is really, and it's like, okay, well, great, where can I find this at? And they can't point you nowhere. They really can't show you. They just say, well, if you look somewhere in the region, if you da 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 da, and for what it's worth, man, I'm the type of person that, like, I want to see some type of documentation. I want to see some type of something. And you have two different spectrums of people. You have these types of people that say, yes, they were all black, they were all this and that, da 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 da, and they say, well, it's somewhere in the Bible. I mean, if you look somewhere in the in the region or the culture back in that time period, you can kind of find something with very vague. And then you have these people who kind of say, yes, they were black because if you look at they've done their research, and if you go to this book on the 66th chapter in this paragraph, they talk about this, and they took a photograph of this, and if you do your archaeological research, then you'll find that and it's like, it's just too, you got to be an expert here, you got to be a dumbass here, so I'm gonna do it right here in the middle, and that's what it is. So pretty much, man, like I said, it's a comprehensive guide, and all you need is the Bible. You don't need to be an expert. You just need a Bible, a Strong's Concordance, and just a regular, quick internet connection, the same stuff that your pastor uses, or for what it's worth, should be using, and that's it, and like I said, it's all biblically based. I mean, you look at a lot of these books that are based in the Bible, they may have like 2 scriptures or maybe 20 or something, but for what it's worth, this has over like 400, 500. So, I mean, I'm really letting the Bible speak for itself. I mean, I feel that if it really is the Word of God, or if it really is what, they say it is, then it should be able to speak for itself. I mean, even then, even if it's not, it's like, what? It's a big ass book. I mean, with a lot of words in it. Regardless, I mean, if it's the Bible or not, if it's all those words, like, it should be able to speak for itself. So, and that's what I do. I basically just let it speak for itself. They ask, why did you write the book? Like, why? And it's very simple. Like I told you, I've been in talks with all these different people, and if you talk to a lot of authors, they want to, stir up some kind of controversy. They want to get people to talk. They want to get some kind of publicity, all this other kind of good stuff. And for me, it's like the opposite. Like, I wrote this book to get people to stop talking, right? I mean, especially, I mean, I've been in talks where I've been in, like, meetings where we're supposed to be talking about education, how to educate, our young black, children and stuff like that, and then they end up talking about, well, they da 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 da, and Jesus, and they're white man's misleading us, and it's like, stop, And the great place to start is with, you know, in religion and churches and stuff like that, man. And for what it's worth, man, like, for what it's worth, you may be right. Black people, my brother, you may be right. You know, white man stole everything. That's not going to change you. That's not going to change the fact that you are broke. That's not going to change the fact that, you know, it's not going to change nothing, right? So I wrote this book so we could stop talking. It's a great reference book. I mean, there are other books out there that kind of say the same things, but in there, I've noticed that they do a lot of bashing. You know, I mean, I've read a lot of, you know, a lot of different books. Like I said, a lot of different references and stuff. And they just, I mean, they like to, I don't say like to, I just put it in my words. They like to bash other people and say, well, you know, these people are from the devil because this is what this says. And it's like, I don't want to get into all that, you know. It's just a bad practice. It's just, I mean, it's just not something I want to subscribe to. But for what it's worth, man, I take you through and I just show you what it is. And it's like, I want to make this the reference book for all this kind of stuff. And, you know, you read it once or twice and then you know it. And then once you know it, you internalize it, and then you don't have to talk about it no more. And then we could just move on as a people. Then we can start having more intelligent and more productive conversation. And that's just what's going to move us forward. Like, you know, I could be the type of author or person that, you know, I write this book and all this other kind of good stuff, and then I get all this attention and everything like that, and then at the end of the day, like, nothing changes, and I just get money, and I get it. That's not what it's about. I'd rather me write this book, people get it, and don't ever talk about this stuff again. That frees me up to write stuff that I really want to write about and do stuff that I really want to do. And, you know, but for what it's worth, everybody's got to start somewhere. So, but I'm rambling, not really rambling. But, you know, that's for what it's worth. That's what it is. But there's going to be lots more on it. Just keep in contact with the blog, man. You know, there's all kinds of ways for you to keep up with me, so just do that, and I will be talking to you soon. With that, man, be blessed, and Raday out.